Hi, I'm Grayson Daniels, Vice President for Grain Sales and Procurement at Rossland Foods. I'd like to give you a market update based on the June 9 supply and demand report from USDA. Starting with long grain rice, USDA for the old crop, they didn't make a lot of changes. They did increase exports. We're at 109 million bushels on exports now, so that brought our carryout down to 35 million bushels. And the average price is still projected at $7.61 for the old crop. I will say 35 million bushels, that's a fairly low carryout number. You'd have to go back to about 2004 to get a number that low. I actually believe 3 years ago in 2020, we were probably lower than that, even though the numbers don't officially state that. So we're probably either that year was overstated on stocks, or this year is a little understated. But anyway, the official number from USDA is 35 million bushels. And so if you start the new crop year at the 35 million bushels on August 1 of this year, production is forecast currently for new crop at 316 million bushels. That's based off the March planting intentions. So I think whenever we get the actual June acreage number at the end of this month, that probably will have more acres in it than March did. So we'll probably have production a little higher than that when we see the numbers next month from USDA in the supply and demand update. But if we look what they have for domestic use, they have exports only up slightly. So I think if production is increased due to more acreage, I think we'll probably see more exports, so it'll offset some of that. They are projecting carryout at 35 million bushels, which is ironically exactly the same as what they're forecasting for the old crop year. And they are forecasting a season average price for the 2023 crop at $6.75 a bushel. So hopefully that will be on the low side, but again, we'll have to see how the numbers shape up on acreage and usage as we get into the marketing year. On medium grain, they did not make many changes there, so carryout is still projected on the old crop at 20 million bushels, and the California price for old crop is projected at $16.20, and the southern medium grain is projected at $8.06 per bushel. So if you carry the 20 million bushels over and start on August 1st for medium grain, production is up substantially. You have more acres in California and in the Mid-South, so production is projected at 113 million bushels. And so they have exports at 49 million bushels, which is a big rebound from the current year. So they have stocks at 28 million bushels, which is, that will be for next summer, 2024 on medium grain. That's a fairly average number, so we get back to a normal carryout with the increase in acres. For new crop medium grain, the California price is projected at $13.50 per bushel, and the southern medium grain price is projected at $7.43. If we look at this chart, it's the red line is July futures rice, July 2023 rice futures, and the yellow line is the September. So we were pretty close back in December. Was only about a 50 cent per hundredweight difference in those, and then that inverse has grown as we go through the year, and then. We're currently in the last few weeks of the trading for July, so it's been very volatile, and the inverse got out past $4, and then this morning it's trading back down with July down over $1, and so the inverse is coming together a little bit. Hopefully, once July gets off the board, folks will focus more on September and look at the stocks still fairly tight all the way throughout the year into next summer, and so hopefully we can get a little bit of life back into the September contract, but it's probably gonna take July getting out of the way before we can focus on that. Shifting over to soybeans, not a lot of update in the June 9 supply and demand from USDA. They did increase the old crop carryout slightly to 230 million bushels. Again, it's still a fairly tight carryout on soybeans. At a 5% stocks to use ratio. The average farm price they're projecting at $14.20 per bushel. And so if you start out for the new crop, if you assume a yield of 52 bushels per acre, you get production of 4.5 billion. And then with the 230 million carry in, domestic use at 2.4 billion, exports just under 2 billion, you'd have a carryout next summer on soybeans of 350 million bushels. And that would be a stocks to use ratio of 8%. And they're projecting the average farm price at $12.10 on soybeans. If you look, we got down recently down below $11.50 on futures. Futures traders did not have much weather premium built in at that level, and then we're starting to get some issues with production and weather in the Midwest. So we're starting to add some weather premium back into that market. So hopefully that will continue. But again, we're in a full-fledged weather market a little earlier than we normally would be. So, you know, that could continue if we continue without rain, and if we start to get some timely rains, you know, they may correct a little bit. And that is the market update for now. Thank you.